Thank you for joining me, and today we're going to talk about the 4 losses I wasn't expecting in retirement. And it was quite a shock. You see, when I was younger, retirement sounded like freedom, no alarm clocks, no rushing, no pressure, no deadlines. And yes, some of that is beautiful, but what nobody prepared me for was the losses. I'm not talking financial losses, not material things, the quiet emotional losses, the identity shifts, the invisible grief, the strange echo of no longer knowing exactly where I fit in anymore. Because retirement doesn't just change your schedule, it actually changes you. And if you're not prepared for that emotionally, retirement can feel incredibly lonely. Even when your life looks perfectly fine from the outside. So today, I want to talk honestly about the 4 losses I wasn't expecting in retirement and how I'm slowly learning to rebuild life again. And the last one, I think it's the one that affects almost every retiree, whether they admit it or not. So grab a cup of tea and join me. The first loss I wasn't expecting in retirement was the loss of purpose. For decades, I woke up knowing exactly who needed me. There were schedules, meetings, deadlines, responsibilities, people counting on me. My days had structure. Even the stress gave life momentum. And then suddenly, silence. I must admit, at first it felt relaxing, but after a while, I noticed something deeper was happening. I wasn't just resting, I was starting to drift. I think many retirees secretly struggle with this because purpose and busyness, they're not the same. You can stay busy all day long and still feel empty inside. You can organize drawers, watch television, run errands, scroll on social media, and still going to bed wondering, does my life still matter anymore? And that's the question nobody warns you about. Retirement can quietly strip away the roles that once made you feel vulnerable, once made you feel valuable. And if you built your identity around productivity, retirement can feel like disappearing. But here's what I'm learning. Purpose in this season looks different. Sometimes purpose is mentoring young women. Sometimes it's serving at church. Sometimes it's learning new skills. Sometimes it's building something creative. Sometimes it's simply showing up fully for your family. And honestly, sometimes purpose is just refusing to disappear emotionally. I truly believe we have assignments from God in this season in life. You see, we're not done. We're not visible and we're not too old. And we are not simply waiting around for life to end. This season matters too. And let's talk about the second loss that I wasn't expecting in retirement, and that was the loss of identity. For most of my life, if someone asked me who I was, I had an answer. I'm a marketing director, a realtor, a businesswoman, a mom, a volunteer, a leader, a salesperson. But retirement has a strange way of removing labels. And when those labels disappear, you suddenly have to face yourself without them. Who am I now? That question can feel deeply unsettling, especially for high-achieving people, because our culture teaches us to tie our worth to our productivity, to accomplishments, titles, recognition, results. But retirement removes much of that external validation. Nobody claps because you folded the laundry. Nobody applauds because you organized your pantry. Nobody gives you promotions for surviving loneliness. And sometimes you start feeling forgotten. I think this is why so many retirees feel depressed without understanding why. Their entire identity was attached to being needed. And now they're trying to rediscover themselves underneath all the roles they once carried. Honestly, I think retirement forces you to meet the real you. Not the accomplished you, not the busy you, not the impressive you. Just you. And maybe that is uncomfortable, but maybe it's also sacred. Because perhaps this season is where we finally discover our worth was never supposed to come from performance in the first place. And then there's the third loss. And this was huge for me, and it was the loss of community. This one surprised me more than almost anything. When you were working, you were constantly around people. Co-workers, clients, friends, conversations, lunches, meetings, small interactions that quietly make you feel connected to the world. And then retirement happens, and suddenly the days become very quiet. Painfully quiet, especially after children grow up and move away. I think many retirees underestimate how much casual daily interaction affects emotional health. You may go the entire day without a meaningful conversation, and loneliness can sneak in slowly. Not dramatic loneliness, just quiet. Just a quiet ache. The kind where you realize nobody has called in several days, or where you wonder if anyone would notice if you disappear for a while. And social media makes this even worse, because everybody else looks so busy, connected, surrounded by family, traveling, thriving. Meanwhile, many retirees are sitting in quiet homes wondering, why do I feel so alone? I think this is one reason community becomes incredibly important in retirement. And I'm not talking about surface friendships, not just online interactions. Real community, church groups, volunteer groups, Bible studies, classes, neighbors, dinner with friends, serving alongside people. Human beings were not created to do life alone. And sometimes rebuilding community in retirement takes intentional effort. You may have to be the one who reaches out first, the one who joins a group, the one who actually invites people over, the one who says yes instead of isolating. And I know that can feel vulnerable, but isolation shrinks life. Connection expands it. And the fourth loss, and I think this is really, really important, is the loss of relevance. This one, my friends, is hard to admit, because aging in our culture can sometimes feel like slowly becoming invisible, especially for women. You walk into stores and a salesperson overlooks you. Has that ever happened? Companies target younger audiences. Social media glorifies youth. Fashion changes, technology changes, conversations change, and sometimes it feels like the world quietly moves on without you. That hurts more than people realize, because deep down, we all want to know our lives still matter, that we still contribute something valuable, that we still carry wisdom, beauty, purpose, insight, creativity, and meaning. I think many retirees secretly wrestle with the feeling of left behind, but in all honesty, I am beginning to reject that narrative completely, because relevance does not come from being young. Relevance comes from remaining engaged with life, from continuing to learn, continuing to grow, continuing to create, continuing to love people, continuing to serve, continuing to show up fully awake to your life. And there's something deeply beautiful about a woman who continues becoming into every season and not pretending to be 25, not chasing youth desperately, but fully embracing the richness, wisdom, softness, depth, and beauty this stage of life can hold. I think our culture desperately needs older women who refuse to disappear. Women who mentor, women who create beauty, women who gather people around their tables, women who encourage younger generations, women who still dream, women who still build, women who still laugh, and women who still dance in their kitchen, women who still believe that God has a purpose for them. That kind of woman is never irrelevant. Never. And maybe that's why retirement is actually supposed to become not the end of usefulness, but the beginning of intentional living. Maybe this season is finally about asking, what kind of life do I truly want to create? What rhythms bring me peace? What relationships matter most? What beauty do I want to surround myself with? What kind of woman do I want to become now? Because for so many years, life moved so fast. We were surviving schedules, raising families, working careers, paying bills, taking care of everyone else. And now we finally have space to breathe. Yes, retirement comes with losses, real ones. Loss of purpose, loss of identity, loss of community, loss of relevance. But maybe these losses also are an invitation. Invitations to rebuild life more intentionally, more spiritually, more slowly, more beautifully. And honestly, I'm still learning. Some days I struggle, some days I feel lost, some days I still wonder who I'm becoming in this season. But I also know this. There is still beauty ahead, still purpose ahead, still joy ahead, still connection ahead, still growth ahead. And if you're feeling some of these losses too, I want you to know you're not alone, not even close. So many retirees are quietly carrying these same emotions. They just don't talk about them. But ladies, maybe we should. But maybe healing begins the moment we finally say, this season has been harder than I expected. And maybe from there, we can begin building something beautifully again and build it together. One rainy day at a time, as you hear the rain and the thunder starting to roll in. I'm Lulu, helping women live a faith-filled, colorful life through scripture, style, color, and the beauty we create at home. Women becoming in every season, including this one. I just wanted to wish you a blessed and beautiful day. And now it's tea time. But I may have to run in real quick. The storm is beginning to roll in, and it's rolling in quickly. Cheers.